Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. In this video, we are going to get the information about 8th standard English medium, in that history, social science, in that history, chapter number 6, rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Let's come to the what are the very important learning points from this lesson. In this chapter, you will learn background of the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Jainism and Buddhism. The principles of Jainism and Buddhism. The spread of Jainism and Buddhism. These are the learning points from the lesson rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Let's come to the introduction for this lesson. India is a land of many cultures and religions, whereas this diverse culture is nourished by various religions. That is the reason India is called as land of multicultural country. Of these, the Jainism and Buddhism are the two important religions. They emerged during 6th century BCE in the middle region of river Ganga plains. Jainism and Buddhism religions they took during 6th century BCE in the northern part of India on the river Ganga plains. Buddha and Mahavira. So both are the founders of Jainism and Buddhism respectively. Preached peace, non-violence, tolerance and human values, which are the essence of plural cultures. The reasons for the emergence of these religions were in contemporary social and political systems. So why these religions are took the birth, we can give the reasons for the contemporary social as well as political systems. Let's come to the what are the reasons behind the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Here is by the time of 6th century BCE, Indian society was divided on the basis of Varnas. In the previous class, in the previous lesson, in that the Vedic age, you have learned the concepts of Varnas. Among that, the four important Varnas are considered as the Brahmins. Usually, they are considered as a priests and they are performing yagnas. Whereas Kshatriya, the ruling class, protection of people. The Vaishyas, those who are engaged in animal husbandry and business. And the fourth one, Shudras, the household laborers and skilled workers are considered as the Shudras. So this is the concept of based on their rules and performance Varna system during Vedic period. Even here are some of the pictures, the highlights about the four concepts of Varna system. All the status and facilities of the society were reserved for the upper Varnas only. So whatever the status or facilities reserved for upper Varnas. Women along with Shudras were considered as profane. This Varna based society had created tensions and complaints among the communities. During this period, the teachings of Gautama Buddha and Mahavira appeared as a new hopes for them. In the most of the ancient times, the contemporary agricultural practices and rise in the food production played a very important major role in profound changes to occur in the political and religious systems. The same are the reasons for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism we can give. By the time the east of present what we are going to be called as Uttar Pradesh region, The north and south present Bihar were witnessing emergence of the new economic structures based on new agriculture. By the 5th century BCE, iron implements came into use. When the iron blades in them flows became more effective and were driven by oxen. By that time, the oxen were sacrificed during the religious rituals, which brought down their number. In this background, since both Jainism and Buddhism they rejected animal sacrifice and advocated non-violence, a new hope became visible to people. As a result of all these things, people got attracted to these two Jainism and Buddhism religions. During this period, cities grew. Kausambi, Kashinagar, Varanasi and Vaishali, Rajagriha, Chiranda, cities in Bihar came into prominence. Artisans and business people came and settled in these cities. Coins were used as means of exchange for the first time. The Vaishyas who were placed in the third place in the Varna system commanded no respect from the society. In order to escape from the limitations enforced by the Vedic religion on their social status, the business class supported the Jainism as well as Buddhism, which rejected Varna system. The major changes that took place in the political system of the contemporary society also contributed to the rise of new religions. Among that, the Janapadas and Mahajanapadas in the river Ganga plains were getting transformed into kingdoms. The new kings from these Janapada communities were looking for a way out to break the hegemony of Vedic religion. They accepted the philosophy of Buddha as well as Mahavira, who preached the futility of war and supported non-violence. The religions of Buddha and Mahavira identified the desires as the main reason for all the human hardships. They gave a call to overcome them. They supported the simple living without accumulation too much wealth. They rejected luxurious life and advocated peaceful and moral family life. Instead of Sanskrit, they preached the people in their own languages, Pali and Prakrit. They offered new path to the people by rejecting the Vedic religion. Let's come to the first one concept, Jainism. So here are the concept of 24 Tirthankara Bhagwan. So Jainism is one of the very ancient religions. Traditionally, the Jains believed in the existence of 24 Tirthankaras. Among that, Rishabha was the first Tirthankara, whereas Parshvanatha was the 23rd Tirthankara. Parshvanatha was born as the son of King Ashwasena in the 8th century BCE. It is believed that he renounced all luxury and indulgence and attained immortality. He renounced society and became a hermit. He preached 4 principles for a peaceful life. So he taught the 4 important principles are considered. The 4 principles preached by Parshvanatha were, they are considered as the ahimsa, nothing but it is called as non-violence. The second one, satya, that means truthfulness, truth. And the third one, asteya, that means it is not stealing, not to steal. The next, aparigraha, that is the concept not to own property, no possession. These are the four important principles were taught by Parshvanatha. And the fifth one, so which was taught by Vardhamana, that is called as Brahmacharya. Let's come to the founder of Jainism, named called as Vardhamana Mahavira. He was born on 599, died on 527 BCE. So Vardhamana was born in Kundalagrama in Vaishali, one of the republics. His father was Siddhartha, king of Granthika tribe. His mother was Trishala Devi, the princess of Republic Lichavi. So here is the picture about Vardhamana Mahavira. At the age of 30, Vardhamana set out in search of truth and renounced his family and house. He wandered for 12 years in the quest that nothing but question and meditated. He punished his body by fasting. At the age of 42, he achieved enlightenment. That means Kaivalya. Vardhamana controlled his senses and achieved power over comfort and pain. Due to this achievement, he came to be known as Mahavir and he became a Jina. A Jina means was one who had overcome his senses and become victorious. Thus, his followers came to be called Jains. The followers of Mahavira are called as Jains. Mahavira spent 30 years, that is, the rest of his life, preaching his knowledge to the people around the Ganga and Yamuna rivers. He travelled towards western India preaching his thoughts. He attained Nirvana in his 72nd year in Pavapuri of Bihar. Mahavira taught 5 O's and 3 important principles of behavior. The later they are called as Triratnas. So let's come to which are the 5 vows and 3 ratnas. The 5 vows are considered as the non-violence, truth, asteya, aparigraha, and the 5th one brahmacharya. And the 3 ratnas are Samyagnan, Samyagadarshan, and Samyagacharita are the important 3 ratnas were taught by Vardhamana Mahavira. Jainism does not reject the existence of God completely, yet it advocates atheism. It denies the role of God in the daily affairs of people. It places God at the lower level than Jina. The preachings of Mahavira, Vardhamana Mahavira. The Jains believe that every animate and inanimate thing possesses a soul. They also believe that it is only through purification of the soul that one can achieve freedom from rebirth and attain nirvana. Purification is possible through meditation, fasting, punishment of the body, and thereby destruction of the body. This process is known as Sallekhana. The concept of karma is a very important aspect of Jainism. According to this, a human being can attain salvation only through good and holy acts. To attain enlightenment, the soul had to achieve freedom from the bondage of the body. Traditionally, we get to see 2 important sects among Jains called as Shvetambaras and Digambaras. Those saints and their followers who wear white cloths are called Shvetambaras. Whereas those saints and their followers who do not wear any clothes are called as Digambaras. After the first Jain council, the preachings of Mahavira were compiled in 12 volumes. These were called 12 Angas by the Jains. They are in Prakrit language. So here the Jains Angas are there, very important. The preachings of Vardhamana Mahavira, and it is considered as the holy book of Jains, and it is in the Prakrit language. Very early, a group of Jains migrated to the south due to the famine in Bihar and settled down at Shravanabelagola. Thus, even here, Jainism spread and many works were written in Kannada, Telugu and Tamil languages. So the famous Kannada poet named called as Pampa, Ranna, Janna and Panna were the very important Jains. These are considered as the Jains. So that's it about the information about the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. In that, the reasons behind the rise of Jainism and Buddhism, the concept of the Jainism. I hope you have understood till now what we are discussed. In case if you are having any doubts till now what we are discussed, you can comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts and I will come back with the next video. Until, keep watching my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.